I'm Ekhosuehi Iyahen. I'm the Secretary General of the Insurance Development Forum. So it's been a remarkable evolution from 10 years ago to where we currently stand today. A significant part of that has been learning from implementation. Over the last 10 years, we have really focused on the development of solutions to address the needs of the countries and the communities that we serve. And part of that has also been not only driving solutions, but also making sure that they respond to the needs on the ground. We've launched a number of global flagship programs from our Global Risk Modeling Alliance, which is really about improving the quality of risk information that countries have available to them to make critical decisions. We have our program with the UNDP and the German government, where we're working with over 20 countries to design risk transfer solutions. And we have the Infrastructure Fund, which we launched with BlackRock, which is about mobilizing investments into emerging markets with a focus on resilient infrastructure. So there are lots of lessons that we've learned, but all of those lessons we have tried to channel it into better implementation with impact on the ground. The IDF's refreshed brand really speaks to an institution that is even more confident in the experiences that we have garnered over the last decade. And that confidence comes from bringing together again the public and the private sector, aligning interests towards developing solutions. And so for us, this refreshed brand speaks to the confidence in the institution and what it is that we do, but it's also very much forward-looking in terms of being able to consider what are the futures that we want to make happen and how can we create the ecosystem to actually allow that to emerge. So the brand speaks to confidence, but it also speaks very much to the future. I would say there are three core things that are really helping to focus our efforts over the next 5 to 10 years. The first is adapt. Being an institution that is acutely aware of the environment that we exist in. That's very different from when we were first announced 10 years ago, and using that to ensure that as we engage with our public sector and the private sector counterparts, that we are developing solutions that are relevant. The second key element that will drive our efforts over the next 5 to 10 years is innovation. Again, we're in a very different world from where we were 10 years ago. The challenges that we face are much more complex. So that requires us to step a little bit outside of our comfort zone. And when I speak about innovation, it's not just innovation in terms of products or technology, it's also innovation in terms of process. It's bringing communities together to co-design the solutions that are needed for the future. The third component that I think will be quite critical in shaping our work for the next decade is about scaling impact. As I mentioned earlier, we've been able to launch a number of really global programs across the IDF, but we want to do more, and we have to do more. And so a key focus from the IDF side would be how can we scale up existing programs, but also how do we expand some of the work that we are doing? Because again, the communities and the countries that we serve ultimately are also asking these questions. And I think it is also in the interest of the community to think through some of these difficult questions and come up with the solutions required.